Obviously pleased with the way we handled things on Saturday evening. Tough road trip against Troy. Chip's got a really good football team, and quarterback is as good as we've seen as well, and Barker and how well he's throwing the ball. But with as many guys we've had down, and just in terms of injuries and how many guys had to step up into significant roles that have not played, to be able to go on the road and get a win and start conference play against that a quality opponent like that was just huge for us. So big celebration in the locker room, and a lot of energy in the building coming back. And now it's time to just reset the button and start preparing for another another tough road trip. Georgia State has already proven this year that they can beat anybody, and so we've got to figure out how to move forward and play on the road against a good opponent. So that's what we'll do.
Thank you, Coach. Our first questions come from Matt with the Jonesboro Sun. Please go ahead, Matt.
Morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Matt?
I'm great. Thank you. Hey, just first, what was your impression of Lane Hatcher and just the way he handled himself, the way he threw the ball the other night?
Well, the numbers obviously were good, and we were able to score a lot of points. I thought he did a really good job of stepping in what I thought was a tough environment. I mean, that's a packed house and a big game for us, and it's hard not to be aware of that. So I thought he did a good job of controlling his nerves and using his weapons well. I mean, there's some things that we got to fix. I mean, we did turn the ball over, and he moved himself into some pressure at times that he shouldn't have. But I mean, to go out in your first start and play in that environment and against that opponent with it being a conference game, I mean, he did a ton of really, really good things and put us in position to improve and even get better on offense moving forward.
How would you describe his demeanor on the field as he came off and went back on?
He just has an intensity about him that I think he carries with him all the time, and I thought he carried that to the game. He was excited going in, you could tell, even in pregame, but I thought he controlled himself really well. He has a knack for games, has a knack for winning. He's done that his entire career in whatever sport he's been in, and he kind of carries that over. So really intense, competitive guy that has prepared the right way and put in the time. So there's a confidence that comes with that, and it shows.
That first play, you called for the deep ball. What made you call for that particular play, and do you feel like that play maybe settled Lane down?
Well, I think it obviously, kind of takes a little pressure off of you when you complete a 92-yarder to start. Honestly, it was our best guy against a coverage guy that we didn't think was going to be able to play him, man-to-man all night, and we felt pretty comfortable about the look we were going to get, and we felt great about the matchup. Omar's playing at an unbelievable level right now, and we just felt like it was a matchup that we needed to exploit. But it definitely, to connect on that, and Omar to be able to adjust to the ball like he did and score, has to take a lot of pressure off of Lane and let him settle in and just start playing.
Would you say that Lane met or exceeded your expectations?
He definitely met them and maybe exceeded them. I think to be able to go out in that kind of environment, not having played live ball at this level, you would love to have him had a little bit more of a warm-up game to get ready, and he just didn't have that. So in that sense, I think he exceeded it. I knew he could throw, and we recruited him for a reason, and he could move the pocket with his feet. And obviously, the thing we liked about him more than anything was just his personality as a winner. But that's still a lot to ask for a guy to do the first time out, and so in that sense, I would say he exceeded it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Sure.
All right, thank you. Matt, next questions come from Luke with Red Wolf Report. Please go ahead, Luke.
Well, Blake, it seems like every week we talk about injuries, and I want to go a little different direction this week. Obviously, a lot of guys stepping up and filling needful roles and going out and making plays. You've always talked about building a monster. How big has recruiting been for you with some of these backup and reserve players coming in and getting the job done for you?
Well, it's never been more obvious than Saturday when you've got your fourth and fifth string running backs that are playing, and you're down to second and third and fourth corners, and Then you got your second and third and fourth interior D linemen, guys that are having to play, and a backup quarterback. So we still are not near our numbers. We're still 10 short on scholarship numbers, but every year if we're able to add a couple more and create more depth, it helps us, and it helped us really, really big on Saturday night. Without the gains that we've made and I think quality recruiting and putting guys in place, in those positions, I don't think we win that game.
Looking at Georgia State, what's the challenges they present? What do you guys have to do to get the win?
Well, we gotta control and protect the ball. We still turned it over too much, so that's something we got to fix immediately. We got to control an athletic quarterback. Barker wasn't going to move around a lot. He was going to use his arm. You're going to be in a position now where you have to defend one of the most athletic quarterbacks that we're going to see all year, a guy that's truly a dual threat. And so it's going to change the dynamic of the environment. That was a rowdy, crazy crowd. We know that's just not what you're going to get at Georgia State. They get a beautiful stadium, but there's not a ton of energy in that building. So we're going to have to bring our own. And you just have to have the challenge of bringing back the emotions. 2 weeks in a row on the road, and that's tough. So it's a lot of challenges in place for us, and hopefully we'll step up and meet them and really even get better this week.
Final question. Saw Dahu on the field a couple times Saturday. How did he look, and how do you feel about him moving forward?
He was not able to play the whole game. He's been battling a knee injury since fall camp and still not completely healthy. And, we're at a point now where, the other guys, number one, are playing really, really well, and he's not feeling great. We're going to have to make some decisions moving forward as to, if he needs surgery or something to repair the knee that just is not getting well.